What is up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first time here, welcome. And on this channel, I talk about fitness, nutrition, and everything you need to know to get you to your goals in a simple, with a no BS approach. So if you're into content like that, then do subscribe down below, like the video letting me know you want to see more and you enjoy this. Let's get into the 3 mistakes you might be making right now that are getting in the way of you achieving your weight loss and fat loss goals. The first mistake that you might be making that will prevent you from losing weight is not understanding proper food portions and how to eat the right amount of food for you. There's one thing that is needed to lose body fat, and this is the only way the body will lose weight, body fat to be specific, is being in a calorie deficit. You're burning more calories than you eat. If you're not aware of portion sizes, if you don't pay attention to how much you're eating in calories, how much you should be eating in calories, it's going to be really hard to lose weight. Because if you're not in a deficit, it doesn't matter how healthy you eat. It doesn't matter how many positive changes you make. The scale isn't going to move in your favor. And that is simply because your body is not in the condition needed to let go of that excess body fat. And it starts by not really understanding how much is in food. Like, we turn a blind eye, we don't want to see, we want to pretend the calories aren't there. We make jokes out of it, but in reality, it's so easy to overeat. But it's also so easy to control if you pay attention to serving sizes, if you stick to the serving sizes, if you use a weight scale to measure things out every once in a while to make sure that you're eating what you're supposed to be eating. It doesn't mean you have to rely on that forever. I meticulously tracked my intake with a food app, which is not necessary, but it really does help, because you become very used to measuring things and seeing what a serving size looks like. You can eyeball things pretty good. That skill takes time to develop, and it comes from really paying attention to what you're eating, serving sizes, ounces, and grams. You don't have to track with an app. You can just do it simply by being mindful. This is a cup, this is 100 grams, and sticking to serving sizes. And again, understanding how much you're really eating, because it's not, when it comes strictly to body fat, the number one thing is being in a calorie deficit. Again, the quality of your diet doesn't really matter for this specific goal. You can be eating all of the healthy foods, you can be eating all of the nuts, all of the good oils, all of the good fats, but it still might be putting you over that limit, so therefore not seeing fat loss results. You're still going to be healthier, you still might feel a little bit better. Ultimately, that's what you need to do, and it starts by paying attention to portion sizes and how much you should be eating for your specific body, because everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to have a different number, so it's hard for me to say eat between this and this. I'll include some calculators down below, some equations that you can use to start there. The scale is where you need to go to get answers. So if the scale isn't moving in the direction that you want it to move, you have to accept that you're still eating too much. And that's just, the good thing is that that's in your control to change, right? Just by becoming a little more aware of proper portion sizes and what an actual serving of rice looks like versus what we typically eat. Take the time to track your food for a couple weeks, or use a scale to really measure your food out and start visualizing serving sizes. Look at the bottles and say it's 10 chips, not 30. Start paying attention like that with everything you eat. You're going to be able to control your calories a lot better, therefore putting you in a deficit and inevitably losing body fat. But don't make the mistake of turning a blind eye and ignoring this, because you might be going on for a very long time feeling like you're doing all these positive changes but not seeing that result that you really want. Pay attention to portion sizes, educate yourself on them. Again, I'll link a few resources below if you don't know where to start. The second mistake that I see a lot of people making is trying to burn off the bad diet with exercise and doing a lot of cardio and a lot of workouts, and thinking that's going to be enough. So like I just discussed in the previous point, over-consuming calories is something that is unfortunately very easy to do. If you have to eat 1,500 calories to lose weight, if we're not aware of portion sizes, we end up underestimating how much we're eating. So instead of 200 calories, that serving of peanut butter was 3. These bags of chips, we thought it was 200 calories for this, but it really was 400 because of the amount that you ate. Just in those 2 examples, we're talking about 400 calories over what you thought it was, and that's just one meal. If you keep that in mind throughout the day, it's very easy to overeat. So if we're using exercise to burn off a ton of calories to offset that, we're going to have to be training very, very hard for a very long time. You might not even burn enough to offset those extra calories. So it just becomes this like catch up, make bad choices, catch up, make bad choices, and it just never ends. And it's not even an effective way to approach it, because again, you would have to exercise a lot, and potentially, most likely, you're not going to get to where you need to be to offset the additional calories that you're eating. Instead, put all of your efforts with calories into your diet, again, using the equations below. Start measuring things, start making sure you're eating in the right amount, and using exercise to enhance your performance, your physicals. What muscles do you want to build? Do you want to deadlift X amount of pounds? Do you want to do pull-ups? And separate the two. Don't use exercise specifically intended to burn calories. You're going to be left disappointed, frustrated, and feeling like all of your hard work is not paying off, because it's not paying off in that specific regard, but you're ignoring all of the million of other benefits that you're getting from it. But because you want to lose weight and it's not getting you that, then you feel like exercise is worthless, not worth doing. We get discouraged, we get frustrated, we quit. I'm sure you guys all have been there. So separate the two. Focus on your diet, again, understanding portion sizes to lose weight, and then use exercise to enhance your physical performance, physicals that you have, like building muscle, performance, endurance, running a faster mile, things like that. Not only is it going to be more effective, it's going to be more enjoyable, and it's going to be a lot more sustainable over the long term, so that you finally feel like you're off the hamster wheel of bad behaviors training, that never seems to actually get us anywhere. That mistake, it gets a lot of people, and it's why a lot of people don't see progress with weight loss. The last mistake that I'm going to talk about in this video is putting yourself in situations that make it difficult to be in control. And what I mean by that is excessively going out to drink, excessively going out to parties, excessively going out to bars, excessively going out to whatever kind of event that doesn't promote healthy choices. Now, if you want to live your life and go to the bars and drink all you want and enjoy your youth, if you're younger or older, whatever, that's fine. However, I think we all can understand that being in environments like that all the time make it very difficult, most likely impossible, to actually stick to your plan, because you're surrounded by people who aren't on that same page with you, who don't care about the same things you care about. They're encouraging you to drink more, to eat this, to do this, but your plan says that you have to do that, but you're not doing it because you're around other people who are pushing you to do something different. And they're not bad people. They're not, they're not evil. They're not trying to sabotage you, but it is doing that in a way. So it's up to you to take yourself out of situations like that and put up a hard boundary. You don't have to go to every event. You don't have to go out all the time. You don't have to go out to every friend gathering. You don't. And again, if you want to, that's fine, but understand that achieving your weight loss goal is going to be a lot harder, and in fact could be impossible based on what behaviors you choose to engage in. So have an honest conversation with yourself and the people that you trust and care about. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what you're working on. Let them know that you have these specific goals that you're trying to work on. If they don't already, say, you know what, I'm going to cut back to only going out once a week. So I'm only going to go out on the weekends, or I'm only going to do this. Or with your family, I'm not going to go to all the birthday parties. I can't. And this is a hard conversation, because none of us want to feel like we have to give up our lives and we have to make sacrifices and we can't be social. That's not what I'm saying. But you do have to understand and take responsibility for the fact that putting yourself in situations that make it hard to stay on track is only hurting you. And it's only making this process take a lot longer, a lot more frustrating than it needs to be. There's not a specific step here. It's just look at what you're doing on a weekly basis. Is it aligning with what you want? If it's not, then make the necessary changes and have the necessary conversations to avoid that in the future and put yourself in a place to win. We only have so much willpower. If we're always around an environment that makes it difficult to stay on track, we're going to fall off. Like, we're not perfect. We're imperfect beings. We succumb to peer pressure. It's a fact of human nature. And fear of missing out, or fear of looking lame, or whatever it may be, it's just almost impossible to resist it all of the time if you're in those situations all of the time. Only you can decide how much you want to cut back on, how much is worth it to you. But I understand that putting yourself in these situations more than necessary is just going to hurt your goals, and it's just going to make things take a lot longer and just more frustrating. Have those conversations, put up those boundaries, stick to what you know is important. The result is going to pay off, and you're going to be so happy and so proud that you stuck to that and you took the initiative to put yourself and your goals first. I know it's a difficult conversation. I know it sucks, but you're missing out on what's important by not doing this. So you're missing out on something that's worth a lot more than the temporary fun that you have with your friends. I mean, you go out to the same bars, you do the same activities, you drink at the same restaurants, you go to eat at the same restaurants. What are you really missing out on that you haven't done? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know that life, you know that result, you don't want it. So let's try something different. That's something that you haven't done and something that you haven't accomplished, and you'll like a lot better. Ultimately, there's obviously a lot more mistakes that I can talk about, but I really wanted to highlight these 3 because they came up in recent conversations with some clients of mine and new clients that are working with me, and I figured I would share them because I know that there's some of you out there that relate to probably at least one of these, and maybe you just needed to hear a different perspective, or maybe you didn't know it was a mistake. Maybe you didn't know using exercise as a means to burn calories is not necessarily the best way to go about it. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, what mistake caught you off guard, or you didn't know was a mistake, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see a part 2 on mistakes to avoid, whether in training or in weight loss, building muscle, let me know. I am more than happy to make those. If you know somebody who would benefit from this video, please do send it to them and help me spread the message and help more people if you find it helpful and feel like it's going to help somebody else. With that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out for more videos like this. Like the video so I know that you enjoyed it. I appreciate every single one of you for watching this video. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.